What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me, as always, is the one and only Jace. Bro Shot, how you doing?
Hello. How's it going, guys?
Cooling. And the man himself, the myth, this too good to be true, is Chief. What's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Just trying to live the dream.
Somebody's
Jace has
living it.
huh?
I said somebody's living it. I'm glad it's you.
Trying to. I'm a happy Niner fan as of this evening. I was seeing, the internet's a very calm, reserved place, so lots of cool, well thought out arguments, discussions. I keep seeing Bosa's gonna get traded. I'm like, come on. I'm not even clicking this. Then they had polls. Where will Nick Bosa be playing? In San Francisco, Santa Clara.
I'm sorry. Where did you see these random polls on X?
No, on Bleacher Report.
Okay. Bleacher
Report is like what's that? The Inquirer.
I mean, that's saying too much. It's like they're like talk radio. Like no, like just the diehard of the uninformed. Like no,
you gotta take Bleacher Report with a grain of salt. But
hold back.
Listen, you had that. I had the Mike Evans talk the other day. They redid Daniel Jones' contract, freed up some money, and then every picture on the internet was Mike Evans.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna go after Mike Evans. I'm like, for what? He's 30 years old. Why would we go after Mike? Right. This is the one piece we're needing. No, it's not, sir.
No.
You need a couple more pieces.
You still have Daniel Jones as a quarterback.
Let me tell you, man. Yeah, so I understand what you're going through, man. Exactly. It's crazy.
It's happy days now. Blake, what's going on?
Hi, welcome, Blake. The lawn is mowed, the popcorn is popped, and Blake is in the house.
Not missing this one. What up, Jeff, Jace, and Chief? What's up, my man? Welcome to the party. We have... I'm going to assume you didn't text me back last night. Not posting that on here just yet, 80s kid, but what's up? Did you listen to my advice?
Oh, I mean, I actually did text you back.
You did. You didn't respond to me. I said, that was a wise course of action.
Yeah, as soon as it was like kind of once you hear something like that, I'm one of those like, okay, let me avoid anything. Because if I had just gone to YouTube, it was like half the people had the, pictures of people. I'm like, wow, not even 24 hours. You couldn't just say, hey, spoilers. Maybe watch this before you check it out.
Not anymore.
Nah, everybody's trying to get that click first. It's like, no one's going to be click first. Like, seriously, it's just not impossible. You can't type out an article quick enough to be the first one on the internet with a scoop. So just say, hey, I may have some fun stuff. Watch it with. I mean, you can do a live stream or something, but don't try it. Oh yeah, it's all fun and game. But yeah, definitely watched that episode last night, and I'm like, you guys have stopped talking to anybody else when it comes to projects, right? Because when somebody else pitches you something, you're like, did you talk to him first? Because no. Yeah.
Like, there's no spoilers. Haven't watched the Ahsoka last episode, but I guess it's ruined now.
I can't help it.
I really try. I really try. I'm really try. What we'll do for this discussion on Ahsoka is not talk about spoiler stuff, because the spoiler stuff is at the end. We can talk about Ahsoka without getting into that.
Yeah, last 5 minutes. Yeah.
Let's get into the show. I mean, I feel like Ahsoka's Star Wars, and that's a simple statement because it says Star Wars Ahsoka, but really, Ahsoka captures everything that was great about the prequels, the original trilogy. It's just that excitement, the space fights, the lightsaber duels. There's so much to it where it's just like, yeah. And there's a story that's like this ongoing mystery, and the heroes are trying to accomplish something. I feel like some of the other shows, even the good ones like Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, per your shirt, they are just kind of, stuff is happening, and it's not so much here is the explicit purpose that we've explained to you in one show, and as we kick off this one, this is what we're trying to do. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi's protecting Leia, and Andor is discovering his reason to get involved and care about this rebellion. And those are fine. I mean, it's not like I'm eating on ice. Mandalorian's like, hey, I'm wandering around. The first season, he had a goal. I got to protect this kid. The second, I got to keep protecting this kid and figure out where the heck he's going. I think some of why people didn't enjoy season 3 of Mandalorian because there wasn't that explicit purpose. But in Ahsoka, it's laid bare right away. Trying to find Ezra, trying to stop Grand Admiral Thrawn from bringing back the Empire. What do you think about that? Is that true?
I think it really does feel like this is Star Wars based on Star Wars by George Lucas. It very much is. Now, y'all have some cool ideas, but I'm bringing all the tools I have from Star Wars. I got Star Wars Rebels, I got Clone Wars, and I have 7 really good movies to base how I fit in this universe. And that's my guidepost on the stories I'm writing. And I think just seeing I watched it again today because I was like, I watched it cool, but I want to watch it again. And he's like, you saw those lightsaber duels that were
don't go too far into that.
No. I'm saying like you saw stuff that was like you got lightsaber duels that were cool. You got a hero you kind of were like you were rooting for, and you had people had choices, and it was like, but you were always like that guiding light is those things you mentioned. Get Ezra, stop Thrawn, and anybody who can wait 8 episodes to watch this all at once is lucky because we're seeing stuff. You're like, 40 minutes. Come on, guys. Don't you got another one of those Star Wars you want to just pop out? Come on, guys.
Yeah, I totally resisted the urge this time to press pause to see where the episode was. And again, I just wanted to be like, and there was a point where I was like, this is going to be where the episode ends. And it was the big choice moment. It was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
Cool. So I'm good. I can, there's any extra time beyond his choice is a bonus. Mm-hmm. Great. So yeah, it was definitely cool. Spoil away. My bad for not keeping up to date and then going to movie TV last year. It's all good. I can talk about it. We can talk about it without talking about the big reveal. So.
Yeah. We know how to talk around stuff, but giving you a sense of, hey, this is fun. Really enjoy it.
And another thing that I think is cool about Ahsoka is there's a purpose for the bad guys as opposed to just being bad guys. Too often they're just kind of, we're bad and we're going to stay bad and do all this bad stuff, but they've got an agenda of their own. In Star Wars, it was, we need to get the Death Star plans back because that could cause some problems. We need to crush this rebellion with one swift stroke. I need to find my boy because he's about to mess up the entire plan that I've been working on, or am I trying to squash him? Mm-hmm. And then the third one is, hey, I need to save my dad. I need to get my boy with me so we can stop him. And the same deal plays out in the prequels where it's like, this is really cool. So yeah, lots of cool stuff that happens with this because everyone has a purpose as opposed to just being there.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit because I don't
disagree.
Huh?
You can't disagree
because I don't know what all of the bad guys' motives are. It's a very well assumed that we know, but there is that little bit of mystery on why everybody has those motives.
Well, they have a clearly stated purpose. Now the layers and all that beyond that, we don't know. And I'm glad we haven't gotten that yet. But we know what the bad guys are moving towards, what their purpose is now. They may veer off, do a Starscream, and go, this is what I was really trying to do. But I like the idea of not having everything laid out there. Chief, what do you think? Is it better for the bad guys to have a purpose?
I think all bad guys need a purpose. I think that what's the donkey said in Shrek? Onions have layers. So we're on the first set of layers here. peeling back, finding out what they really want. I do like the fact that it didn't take. We're not 8 episodes in before we find out, what the purpose of this quest is. Right. So we know what we're supposed to be doing. We know why we're doing it, and we're watching them try to stop it from happening. Which is fantastic for me. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you watch like The Mandalorian, you're like, all right, you ride along with them, but you're like, we're going all these places, but what the hell are we doing? You know what I mean? And he's just getting into adventures. Sometimes adventures just fall on his lap. You know what I mean? Like he'll just be like, and then right on his lap an adventure, and you're like, all right, and then we'll go with it. But this joint here is from the first, from the onset. Hey, this is it. This is what's happening. I mean, the opening scene was her, grabbing what she needed to grab. So I this so far has been my favorite of what's come out this year. So it's lived up to it. Every episode has been good. There's not an episode that you say, you know what I mean? Because I don't think, honestly, I didn't see the end of Mandalorian season 3. I don't even think I got off the 3rd episode. I think I got bored. And there you go, Jace. Don't you judge me.
He really did. He was like
judging.
You're judging. I can see it in your face.
Again, I think it's probably the second to last episode is my favorite of the Mandalorian. But I think Mandalorian, the difference between Mandalorian and
season 3.
No, in general, Mandalorian almost could work as a serialized old school TV. You could watch it in any episode except the first episode and the last in all of those. Because like you said, adventure falls into his lap. So you don't need to watch him in order almost. It's I'm helping Grogu and we're going to a random planet. Like until like maybe the first episode and then the last 2. Every other one's just random adventures.
Are you talking season 3 of this series as a whole?
No, like in season 1 when he first gets. I mean, like.
All right.
Okay.
What about
I'm going to say like when they go to that random planet and meet Cara Dune, like that. Oh, okay. Oh, you didn't. It's helpful to watch every episode in order, but you could just pop in like, okay, all right, cool. Oh, this is a bounty hunter dude. Okay, he's like Boba Fett. Okay.
All right. Speaking of popping in, we got Javon, aka today Mel Sharples. I don't understand the aliases that keep popping up, but whatever, we're going to go with it. What's up, Afton Child? What are we doing today? Talking about Ahsoka, talking about the best examples of movies and genres of movies. So, Ryan Daly's in the building, said, agree with Jace. I like Balaam because I like Ray Stevenson, but I don't know much about his character, what he wants beyond power. Unlimited. Sorry. And then Ryan goes again. Team Jace, he says he's right. Season 1 of Mando felt like they were plucking story ideas from the Star Wars role-playing game for each episode. I felt like there was a story there because each episode needed to go somewhere. Like his ship got messed up, so he had to crash into the frosty area with the fish egg lady. He had to do stuff in kind of an order.
But you don't have to watch that in
order. One quest sent him to another quest, which sent him to another quest.
Yeah. But
it's like RPG. It's RPG.
Yeah, you could bounce those quests interchangeable into the last one. Like it's do you have to fight? You have to talk to the Jawas. Oh, you got to talk to Krill. Oh, it's like yeah.
All right, so we would just jump into him getting the crest on his armor before he and Grogu take out the beast. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, was that really that important?
I mean, to explain that, and then we could go jump the first episode.
Did you remember the crest? Did you care about the crest in season 3?
Jeff said he used to stare at the crest every time he watched the episode.
Well, no, season 3 is totally different, but season 1 and 2, I feel like you have to watch them in that linear or format presented. Season 3 is definitely a choose your own adventure kind of thing with Mando. He does whatever. Now I'm gonna ask Mel Sharples, Javon, J. King, have you been keeping up with Ahsoka?
No. Hey, I just got on Solar Opposites. I'm that's where I'm at right now. It's winning time also.
It's what?
It's winning time.
I mean, you watch more than one show a week. Although, in fairness, I am behind on winning time. So, but I bet they stretched the truth of some stuff with the Lakers.
Shocker.
Oh no, this is as accurate as it gets. This stuff happened. This is true to story. True to story. No, I'm meaning to catch up on Ahsoka, man. I'm probably gonna be a month and a half late. But I'll be honest with you, it's not like there's gonna be a ton of other content out right now either. So.
Hey man, you better believe it. They're
Yeah.
striking a deal to end the strike as we speak.
Are
We
you
were
on
just waiting on
Bleacher
both of
Report?
the, huh?
Are you on Bleacher Report and that was reported?
You
Right.
ruined my
Where
joke.
did you hear that?
What's up, After Child? Oh, let's see. Ryan says season 2 had more of a meta story throughout the season. Season 3 was a redemption of Bo-Katan, guest starring the titular character as a spectator in his own show. I do agree with that. I like Bo-Katan, but yeah, it was kind of like Mando was in the background chilling, and I felt like Bo had a lot more to do. So yeah, of the 3 seasons of Mando, that was definitely my least favorite, but I really like the first 2. And I'm wondering if there's maybe not a coincidence that we're getting seasons 1 and 2 released on Blu-ray, 4K, whatever, and we're gonna see season 3 later at some undetermined, unannounced date. I'm curious about that. All right, so this episode, I really like. Their ship was messed up because Ahsoka is not the world's greatest pilot. She took damage and she had to set it down before it crashed and blew up. That was great. And they're fixing the ship up, and then we get this whole, hey, there's something in the shadows. Did you get the echoes of Empire Strikes Back?
You mean when the actual ships look down and they're in the cave?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I what I once again love about this is our characters are not infallible. Like they have weak spots, and everything does not come perfectly. Like I got shot down, I got to fix the ship. I don't magically know how to fix the ship. I have to use my co-stars to help me fix the ship. I don't know how spaceship repairs. I have a droid to help me do that. I'm gonna sit here and meditate. But I appreciated that. Like,
Yeah.
So, and I really appreciate. I actually really like the fight scene that happens after. Like you say, what's the robot's name, Jeff?
Hu Yang. Yeah.
Like that was very good. Like robot fight. I'm like, this is extra cool Star Wars right here.
Have we seen a droid versus droid fight like that? I felt like no. That was cool. They're like bang.
Well,
Like
usually
rock'em sock'em robots.
Yeah, we usually see C-3PO getting punked out in like one hit, and that's it. But this was actually like, oh shoot, like okay, dude. So
Peter Ramsey directed this episode, and if that name is sort of familiar to you, he was the guy that directed Rise of the Guardians, a film that so desperately still could use a sequel. Who Yang? Exactly. So I thought he did some really great work directing this episode. Normally I'm like, oh, that was a good episode, but I really liked what he was doing in terms of setting the scene and building that mystery. Like we see the droids is like, hey, something's out there. Kind of gave you a little horror element to it.
Yeah.
And we had the red leaves. Felt like a little Game of Thrones touch there with that. And like the setting was really unique for a Star Wars battle. Definitely channeled that samurai feel where it's like, oh shoot, here it goes. And then we get this big battle with Merrick and Shin. Oh, the K2 killing any robots. Did he?
Yeah.
Or did he just?
No, he was just knocking out Empire dudes. I think he did have like one little kind of interaction with a robot, but this one was like Jeff said, rock'em sock'em, like bob and weave. Yeah, it
was good stuff. All right, so then we get the duel, and let's go with Afterchild, who has been adamant that this is not the case. I'm so happy that the Mystery Inquisitor is not Starkiller. And it's funny because man, that just blew up all over social media. And I'm like, where are you getting this from? I don't feel like this makes any sense. But man, some stuff is like wildfire. Just people just take it and run. Like, oh yeah, he's got to be Starkiller. I'm like, but why would he be around? And why would he be with these guys? Last we saw Starkiller, he was not fighting on behalf of the Sith.
Well, I remember there's a whole bunch of clones of Galen Merrick. So it was like kind of, he could be a clone just because it would be cool to bring him in. The other rumor was that it was geez, what's my man's name? Ezra. They thought, yeah, everyone was like, oh, it's Ezra. I'm like, son of a, and that was like the first week. That was the one I was mad at because I'm like, oh, that would make so much sense. I hate you for mentioning that. But
that's what I thought. But then I was like, where's Thrawn? That didn't make any sense then. So I had to cross that off.
Yeah, it was like, maybe you got him back, but that's where you think you know where the map is because of him. And it was very good that it was not. It was like, because even like the last episode where when the Purgle turned, he looks, I'm like, oh, I really hate you because you guys spoiled that. And then it wasn't. I was like, oh, cool. It's like, hey, good lightsaber duel, but glad that wasn't the case. So
yeah,
everybody who's had to, oh yeah, we totally know it. They don't. It's even better.
Yeah.
The internet was wrong.
I laughed so hard when Merrick turned to dust and 1,000 YouTube fan theories vanished with him. You know, Ryan, that's exactly why I don't do that, because I don't want to write or do a video and spoil something or just plant that inception. And somebody like, oh, yeah, that's who it is. It's like, that's lame. I just rather people watch this stuff and, we can talk about it on here, but I don't want to spoil stuff. So now that it's over and it's been revealed, we can talk about it. But Chief, what did you think about that those two lightsaber duels? And did you like the fact that Sabine was like, yeah, I'm a Mandalorian too? It started off guns blazing.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably what she should have stuck with in the first place. I love the lightsaber work.
I know, that's Star Wars to you.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense if there's no Star Wars. I mean, if there's no lightsaber work. Both battles were good. I like what's the Beskar armor?
Beskar, yeah.
So he hit the so yes. Yeah,
so Wakanda forever and blocked it.
Yeah, so it was pretty good, man. Both of the joints were good, man. I think Shorty would have, if she hadn't grabbed that thing, man, I think she would have, on the second one. But I guess the pain from it ruined her. But
you're jumping ahead. I was talking about the ones in the woods.
I like how
the pain from the orb threw her off.
Well, no, yeah, you jumped. Like, I think what was cool is like after the best, like once she lost Merrick, it was like her she was distracted and gave Sabine that opening. It was like, oh crap. Well, you might have two things I'm not ready for because she's supposed to be just like a Jedi Padawan, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. I've never dealt with this before. I'm gonna go regroup, come back. We'll see what's going on. That was a smart way to go.
I love the fact that she used her flamethrower or blast or whatever. It was like, yes, fight like a Mandalorian who has some Jedi training. Because I feel like that's more her lane anyway. She didn't need to be a Jedi. She was a cool Mandalorian, like an elite Mandalorian. What up, James? So yeah, I really like that. And then let's get to that big main fight, Baylan versus Ahsoka. And it was so like classic big main event duel in a Star Wars movie. Baylan's like, I mean, you can bring this if you want, but we can talk. I was like, oh, okay. He's like a Count Dooku dude where he does not come like, he's like, we can sit by the fireside and do the thing. We don't have to fight. And she's like, he's like, all right, then. All right, whatever.
I like it. Again, after watching it, he almost every line he says, no, like he's like giving you this real choice. Like, hey, I'm better than you. So just give you this heads up. We can keep talking, but unfortunately, you're just like your master, and you're gonna jump in to fight me, and I'm gonna beat you.
I don't know if he was better. I think he was stronger than her, for sure. I don't know if better. Like I said, if she hadn't grabbed that orb and been concentrating on the pain in her hand, I don't know.
I think Ahsoka was distracted. She was just focused on getting the orb. He was like, I'm going to beat you. But I also think Ahsoka was fighting him with a bit more emotion than he was. And he was just cold like,
because that was her first. That was the first time Ahsoka's really had to fight somebody who's been Jedi trained, and I mean, like the last person she really fought that actually really took some effort was Vader. Like, gosh, I'm so the Night Sister. What's the Night Sister lady, Jeff?
Morgan.
Like Morgan's cool, but she's not a Sith. So
She's
it was
not
very
a
much like the last time she fought somebody was Vader, and it was like, oh no, I'm trained. I've been a Jedi / whatever I am right now, as long as you've been alive. Like, bring it. I'm good. I can win this fight.
Often said, I must say, I think they're going to turn Sabine into a Force user. I hope they hold off on that, just because, like I said, we don't need 2 Jedi in a show about a Jedi. I think in the post prequel era, Jedi are special, unique, and that's kind of what made season 3 of Mandalorian not as cool, because it was like everybody can do what Mando can do, but when he's by himself, he's cool because he's the only guy rocking the Mandalore armor.
Jeff, did you not see The Rise of Skywalker? Everybody can be a Jedi, or whatever that second movie was. Random guy with a broom can be a Force user. Like, come on, what's wrong with you guys? Like, I think,
as Afton would say, we don't talk about.
right. All right, I'm on timeout again.
All right, Ryan had a question. Why did Ahsoka change her fighting style and not use 2 blades? I got you. This is all about paying homage, giving us shades of the prequels. So when Anakin had his first duel with Count Dooku, a calm, relaxed fighter, he starts off with 2 lightsabers. And he's like, doing his thing. And Dooku's like, whatever, dude. Ahsoka's not about that. So she's like, yeah, I need to focus. I don't need to do my normal fighting style. I use that against chumps. This guy, he's pretty close to a Jedi Master. I'm just going to focus. And so that's why I think she was doing it. What do you think?
I was thinking it was much more like a samurai duel, because like you saw how they were changing fighting styles before they even clashed the first time. That was it was like a really cool choice on the director, because it was like, hey, no, we're not going to just do your usual Jedi. We're going to actually hit this like it's a samurai, like visions. It's like these guys, like one shifting, got the blade up top, then going lower, and it was just each move before the first fight. It was almost like a forced duel of them just kind of figuring out, like, oh, I'll counter move. Oh wait, I'm gonna counter that. I thought that was really cool.
So Chief, it was like Oren Ishii versus
a
The
bad
Rock.
decision. I just did. I think you should have just took the lightsaber and just took the double joint and just started going to town. There was opportunities if she had the 2 lightsabers to take him out. A couple of moves they were locked in. She was here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hit the old what's my Kylo Ren joint? The old like the lightsaber up and throw it to his body move. What he did on
I don't recall these movies you speak of, but
I'm just saying he could have
Kylo Ren sounds like a cool character.
And put it through his body. That's all.
I think so. You could have used it like a second, like a dagger. Like, you got your rapier in your dagger.
She was engaged, she could have used the Force fluid off her belt and put it in him. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it was opportunity. She had a second lightsaber. He
seemed like he was legit stronger.
But that's my point. So your focus, he's coming down. He's stronger than you are. You need an advantage.
Yeah.
And she should have taken the advantage. And the advantage was the other lightsaber. She was holding her own. She was just less powerful than him. So he was hitting her. She was getting thrown back instead of just boom, shoot, putting them on the defense.
But maybe against a stronger opponent like him, 2 lightsabers doesn't provide the center of balance that you need to counter. So instead of doing this technique, she has to be like here to block those. I don't know. Interesting way to go with that fight. I really liked it. And she didn't win, which meant it's time for a rematch later on, maybe, possibly. And then we get Sabine's big choice. And Sabine is like, bump this. I've been on this mission for one thing. I don't care what I need to do. You're right to be worried. I gotta get Ezra. Love that because it was some real. Is she gonna do it? Is she not gonna do it? So I love that.
Honestly, what we have not seen in any of these movies is someone making the good choice, quote unquote. It was like actually, I don't want to say the selfish choice, but it was like, yes, like this is why I get annoyed with the sequel trilogy. Like Rey should have turned to the dark side. If you had made that choice, you have a different movie. You can figure out your redemption arc. But when Sabine made that choice, it's like I could, but you have my character now has room to move and grow and do things because I have made that choice, not the simple boring choice. Like that was a Dave. I mean, Dave earns credit for that move right there because he could have made. Oh well, we have another way to get a cheat code to get to Thrawn's planet because now that you guys destroyed this map, yeah, we'll come up with some crap. Or a character can make a selfish choice and then have to redeem themselves from that selfish choice, which nobody does in Star Wars, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, in any kind of action movie, that was good. I really, really, really like that. Then Hera came through with the ghost just to make sure that HasLab got pushed through all the way. We got my man Carson. That was great to see him. But I was like, where is Zeb? We're pulling out other folks. What's going on?
I mean, that would have been too spot on for the HasLab, I think.
I think they know when those things are coming.
Oh,
they know. They know when they're coming up. So said we weren't going to do it, so we won't. Then the last 5 minutes episode, awesome, amazing. I cannot wait till next week. Let's fast forward and get to it because Dave Filoni's writing and directing this episode.
Okay, but do we need to talk about the fact that the starship goes to hyperspace and doesn't destroy everything in full stop?
I felt like everything was out of the way because Hera was like, "It's powering up. Get out of here."
Yeah, you mean like people would actually know not to stop a starship from going to hyperspace because it actually would just not destroy them. Yeah, I liked how it actually all the other ships got dispersed out of the way because it's like, yeah, we're not worried about you. Move on.
Yeah, I love that. She was like, "Who cares?"
Yes, I'm not fighting. Why fire at these morons? I'm out of here. Peace.
Yeah. Done. All right. So we've talked about Ahsoka. Watch it. Jay King, Mel Sharples. Watch that thing, man. Catch up. All right. So since you're here, give us a quick 30 seconds of why, if you're not watching it, you should watch Winning Time.
Well, Jeff, 30 seconds. If you like sports, if you like total bullshit, sensationalized bullshit, in relation to sports and sports stories of historic teams and players, then this is right up your alley. Look, it plays out like the Lakers were a sitcom / soap opera, right? And honestly, you don't want the true behind the scenes every time. You want a little sensational nonsense. You want a little tongue in cheek, the writers taking liberties, because it makes for entertaining characters like Jerry West. If Jerry West on this show is anything like Jerry West the man, that is a guy you want to hang out with because he's insane. You can't have people like, come on, some people just aren't entertaining. You know, you have to add a little, you have to zhuzh a little. And I'm not mad at that because at the end of the day, you want to be entertained, and it is an entertaining show. So for all of those reasons, if you like it, watch it, man. If that's your alley, watch it.
Yeah. Just don't watch it and have Wikipedia go right next to you.
Oh no. No historic content is here. I mean, they try to get things within timeline to a degree. It's not total nonsense, but it is a lot. They're taking a lot of liberties. Let's say that.
All right, it says the soundtrack, the fashion, style, the not at all accurate portrayal of Jay West, and the constant dissing of Boston.
How are the costumes? Because that's an interesting thing. It's like a lot of things. Do they treat the costumes like serious, or do they have them like?
No, they do.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
No, they do. They try to keep it as period, and you got to remember, this is what I was trying to tell my wife. It's like, look, it's the late 70s, early 80s. So with that, in between, it's not going to be a lot of what we know of the 80s, and it's not going to be a lot of what we knew of the 70s. That in between from, let's say, 79 to 83 was weird because it was like still discovering what the 80s were going to be and still the hangover of disco. So you still got those two styles merging. They do a good job of capturing that.
That's a great way to explain it.
Yeah, no, honestly, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no, they do a decent job of capturing and keeping it to period. John C. Reilly looks like he walked right out of 1981.
Okay.
The only my biggest gripe is the hair. Like they've always done a black man's hair greasy in Hollywood. Like point in case, like why did all the young black kids in TV shows in the 80s, 90s had rat tails and stuff like that?
I'm about to say.
Or nobody had to shape up.
Wait a second. I personally know the Chief had a rat tail in high school. What are you talking
about? Yeah. All right, Javon. Let me ask this one thing because I know I mentioned it because, like, did you see Resident Evil, the Netflix version?
No.
Okay, like when they tried to put Lance Redding and that bad filling on him, it was like a high top fade. It was just
wait a minute, Lance Reddick wore a bad filling?
Yeah.
No, y'all can't be doing that, man.
It was horrible. I mean, like, so I'm wondering if they did at least that better on One in Time than,
I would say this, Jason.
Huh?
It's weird because in 81, wasn't nobody getting shape ups, Caesars, and fade the back or block the back, none of that kind of stuff. But the hair on some of the guys looks just it's glued on. It's glue. Like whoever they got is Norm Nixon's son, who plays Norm Nixon in the show. His head, it's like if he raises his eyebrows, that whole thing is gonna come off, man. It just looks crazy on him, man. That's the only gripe. But you doing what you got to do. I ain't gonna hold that against him.
Bam! There you go.
Oh no, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. He's like the top of him. That shit like a magic marker.
It's so bad.
A magic eraser.
That looks terrible. Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, it was like in this important moment in the show. You're like, oh no,
Like, it just takes you out of it.
Come on, like, oh gosh,
that takes you out of it, man. That would take me out of it.
Oh, I was long gone by that point.
Does not look like Wesker. That looks like Blade.
It was so.
It does.
You're like, I mean, especially somebody watched like the video game of Resident Evil 1, where you see Albert Wesker with the black shirt.
Albert Wesker.
And when you see him do all the little Matrix moves, it's like, okay, cool. But it's like,
then you look at the head and you're like, nah, that
ain't I understand. You guys made a choice. I love the actor, but that was not the way to go.
Man, rest in peace, Lance Reddick, man. But that's wild.
That looks like
they got him look like Miles Davis right there, man.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the cast that they should have done with him. Yeah, Ryan's correct. We need a show or movie about the Michigan Fab Five from the early 90s. Well, it would only be 2 seasons.
Well, okay. Ryan, that's a fantastic idea. Now, let me pose this question to everybody. And I think we talked about this ad nauseum, Jace. If you were to make a show, or if you were to be a part of, we used to do if you were to be a part of one a team that was just like, this was the party team. This was the team to be a part of. Who would that be? Change that. Who would you be a part of to who would you make a show out of?
Miami Hurricanes.
I'm thinking UNLV.
Yes, sir.
UNLV.
The Tarkanian UNLV is?
Larry Johnson.
Stacey Augmon.
Yeah. Like, because that was bringing a team, a school into relevance all in the span of like 3 years. So I think you could get 5 seasons out of that.
Man,
you could only do 2 seasons of the Fab Five.
But not you Fab Five. You kind of have a couple seasons of.
It's 2 because it's only 2 Weber seasons.
Yeah. But no, you expanded. You expanded by using their high school years for a couple episodes. Then the second half of that first season is their first season playing together. Stretch that, and then you make Chris Webber's decision kind of your cliffhanger mid-season of your third season. You can stretch it out. Like
Hulu will green light it. I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with 2000s USC because that's a show right there. That's a TV show.
Like,
What them boys was up to? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Afton was not a fan either. Official Resident Evil wasn't even scary. Also had a bad call and had some singing. They had singing in that show.
I think
What?
they did.
Wow.
Wait, it was a musical?
It might have been. Like, I mean, I remember I was texting you guys. I'm like, do not watch this show. Like, I was bored one Friday night, and I literally, I'm like, wow. I really mean, like, they say, the term hate watching. I was literally like, yeah, this is literally where I'm going. Like, I got no standard to do with this. This is hate watching. I just need to end so I can't. I want to make sure that they never do this again. So I want to make sure it's all done. So yeah.
You know what? I think a movie about the 85 Bears could be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, personally.
So many interesting personalities, man.
He's from Chicago, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm from 58th in Indiana.
So you want that giant show, Chief?
No. Let me tell you something.
Flat.
It's just it basically would look like Cocaine Cowboys from the 80s, the 90s.
That's what we
90s,
want, man. LT.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that.
Bro,
I hate to say this, but would you? I know one over there would definitely not want them, and he knows where I'm going.
No.
What? The Cowboys, Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys.
No.
You want Coke? I mean,
you would watch that every week.
The White House.
Man, coked up Michael Irvin, getting crazy.
You can watch that now.
There.
Come on, man. Don't do that with Michael Irvin, man. He done gave up that.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Hey,
look at Stephen A. Look at Stephen A.
And now he's talking ridiculous like that, which is way more. I'm not watching this, but I'm sure it's ridiculous.
I haven't checked that out yet. I've given up sports yelling, man.
Listen,
I'm done
Skip,
with that.
let me tell you about how we used to do it. No.
We used to do it.
Thank you. Yeah. Absolutely no. I want 0 parts of that. I want
I mean, again, if you're talking about properties you could license that actually would have viewers based on their sports team's net worth, I mean, that's one of those like, hey, it'd be a whole lot of waivers to sign. And all right, how much of your story can we really tell on TV?
Can we really tell?
Like,
I mean, but you got to take liberties.
Some license based on court cases, right?
Oh, you got to take a lot of liberties when dealing with any one of them, right? Yeah. I could imagine all the NDAs, et cetera, that when the Cowboys era, like the big three era, the triplets. Oh my God, Michael Irvin cutting the food.
That sounds like a show I want canceled.
I mean,
hey, James, did you know they're doing a movie about the Von Erichs? Yeah. Zach Efron's going to be in it. Let me see if I can pull
Zac
this up.
Efron and Jeremy Allen White from Shameless. It's going to be. It looks like it's going to be pretty good. Check that out.
Well, as long as they have Kevin Barefoot. But yeah, it's called the Iron Claw. And let's pull this picture up so you can see it. I'm not quite seeing my man Kerry Von Erich with any of these kids, but
here's the thing: to get a guy who looked like Kerry Von Erich, that's like old school 80 action hero.
Wait a minute,
you're not gonna find a dude who works out like that now.
Who was Efron playing in it? I thought he was playing
Kevin.
He's playing Kevin.
I mean, he should play Kevin. He looks more like Kevin. My guy here. Let me pull this up. He is playing Kerry. And
that's from Shameless. He's a short guy too, and I don't remember Kerry Von Erich being short. He's like what, 6'1", 2, 3?
They're all short. I mean, he's playing a little bit of man.
Yeah, he ain't very tall.
He's playing David, and he's playing Mike. Yes, that's our Von Erich boys. I'm interested in this.
And they put them dudes on fences because those other dudes are clearly
short.
Yeah, they're clearly. Yeah, that's those.
Look at them.
Yeah, it's coming out in December. Well, it was slated for December. It's going to be called the Iron Claw, which is nice. I'm looking forward to it because I was a huge Von Erich fan. Still am a huge Von Erich fan.
Wide release?
Huh?
Is that going to get wide release?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or streaming or wide release. Wide release.
Is the Hulk Hogan biopic with Chris Hemsworth happening? I believe it's still on. I know he was set for it. Let me tell you something, brother. I feel like Chris Hemsworth could do that really well.
Mhm.
But of course, if you do a Hulk Hogan movie, you're gonna have to make sure everybody else looks kind of spot on. I feel like sometimes the casting with Young Rock is a little weird. I'm like, I'm not sure if that looks like who I
So,
think it's supposed to look
Are we
like.
forgiving Hogan? Is that it now?
That's the thing. Like a Hogan biopic is what story do you want to tell? The truth, Hogan's version, or everybody else?
In between.
Oh, you're telling Hogan's version. You're telling Hogan's version. Make no
Hogan's version
mistake.
of the truth. All right, so look, this is what I'm talking about with Young Rock. This is Andre the Giant.
Okay.
They got Gerard Depardieu to do curls for a good solid 6
Here's the
months.
Iron
And
Sheik.
said, all right. Yeah,
Okay.
right. This is Rocky Johnson, and that's one of your bad
Get
hair
ahead.
pieces, Devon.
Man, terrible headpiece, man.
Then we got Nate Jackson playing Junkyard Dog. I
Man,
think that's
Jeff,
pretty solid.
What is the dude from Georgia? I'm sorry, CW. That was the replacement for JYD.
There are a lot. I mean, it was like, hey, can I put any black dude? Yeah, no, you can't, Bill. That's not how that works. This is
Let's
not
get
the
Tracy
Iron
Morgan,
Sheik.
see what he's doing.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see here. Who else? This is the Wild
Oh,
Samoans.
the Wild
That's pretty solid.
Samoans, yeah. That's pretty spot on.
But I mean, when was Andre the Giant ever that small?
Again,
Yeah,
it's
high
hard
school.
finding a guy that looks like Andre.
All right. Well, I mean, don't bring in Andre the Giant in your show. I don't think that looks like Vince McMahon. Let's see.
The only
That's
thing that
not
guy got
the
right was
Macho Man,
Vince's
brother.
voice and cadence. That's the only thing he got right.
Mr.
That guy tried really hard to be Macho Man, and I appreciated that.
Okay.
All right, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's tough, and that's what it comes down to for these deals. They got to get people to look like the actors, or they're supposed to look like.
Yeah, how many actors can you find that are that big? You know?
Yeah, it's like that's the problem. It's like, you're gonna have to find out guys that look like they work out and aren't. I mean, that don't look like they're so swole up Hulk Hogan juice, but you need Hulk Hogan juice. That's vitamins that are shot.
Say your prayers. Say your prayers. Don't forget those.
That's what you do.
Yeah. Hey Blake, who would you want to see play Roddy Piper? Because he would need to be an important character. The dangers of a live show. Sitting on stuffed animals.
But no, I'm sitting here. My dog is going nuts over here, so I'm trying to get my attention.
Oh, okay.
Bringing toy after toy down here.
Like, hey.
Yeah, I know it looked like I pulled a green crocodile out of my crotch, but no.
That's not a knife. All right, so I gave y'all a homework assignment impromptu, just so I could get some natural responses. So for this episode, I wanted to see, like, you know, when you have conversations with people, oh yeah, if you like this movie, you really like this movie. I want to play that today with the best example you can think of from these various genres that I'm about to pull up here. So this is real simple, real basic. I want you guys to think of the best example of this genre. The only trick is you can't repeat what somebody else has said. Now, if you like what somebody else said, give a thumbs up, but I still want you to come up with something different.
Okay.
So this is like your best example of, hey, if you don't think you like this genre, watch this movie. It'll make you a fan and make you want to get into the rest of it. Oh, I like that idea. Jeremy Renner is Piper. I think I like that.
That could work.
Yeah, maybe we get that hairstyle that he had when he was rocking in American Hustle.
What was it? Piper's Playhouse? What did he have? What was it called?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Damn, who's Jake the Snake?
He really didn't mess with Hogan. It's like you need people who are fighting Hogan. So you need all of the Heenan family.
All of
That's
the
like,
Heenan
where do you get
crew.
Big John Studd? Who is your Paul Orndorff?
Actually, I kind of think Jeremy Renner would make for a better Paul Orndorff. I don't know. Anyway, so all right. So let's get this thing going.
Okay.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna give you an easy one first.
All right.
What is the best comic book movie? And let's start mix it up. The best comic book movie. So, like, if you were to say this, like, if you had a choice, had a chance to make a fan of some genre, you put them down and make them watch this.
Okay.
So like you love all these genres I'm gonna go through, but if you only have one movie shot
All right,
to
one
make
shot.
somebody a fan, what comic book movie are you gonna put them through? Jace, let's start with you. Mix it up a little.
Okay. All right.
Green Lantern.
My choice is Superman 1. Not Superman 2, which I love, but I'm gonna take Superman 1.
Okay.
Hold
Not
on.
Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
So we talking Christopher Reeves here.
Huh?
Christopher Reeves.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm doing Christopher Reeve, Gene Hackman, Margot Kidder, Superman 1. I think that is proof that you can actually make a superhero movie with bright colors and actually works because you have really great characters. I think that is even like kids. I mean, I don't have kids right now, so I don't know how that works. But I think
You
you
can
can
say right now. You got some news to tell us.
I hope not. If I don't know anything, I hope not. But I think if you want to show people a good comic movie based on superheroes, bad, charismatic bad guy, I think that's the way to start. I think that's the way you start them out. Like, okay, that's cool.
All right. James said, okay, Jace, good choice. Ryan says Superman the movie is a solid choice. Only concern is by today's standard, it's paced very slowly. And I think the special effects may turn off like a newer audience member. Like if you're trying to get like a 16-year-old kid trying to watch it, that may be
like
a tough
comedy too.
I mean, it has some funny elements.
Yeah, it's like
this is marker though.
Yeah, it doesn't take itself serious.
Yeah, I need the extended version where you see Superman doing all the things.
Super stuff. Okay.
Yeah, like that's the one. I mean, because it's like I was trying to debate like what makes Superman the Return not as good, and it's like they do frame for frame, like
a stalker.
He's a stalker in
absentee dad.
What's his name? Kevin Spacey is not Gene Hackman.
He's just trying to be Gene Hackman.
All.
Yeah, it's like
it's a bad Gene Hackman cosplay.
Right, that was not great. And it made no sense.
Kevin Spacey could be a movie villain, but not that kind of movie villain.
But not that.
So, but you gave action frame, talkie, action frame, talk, and then you had this one big at the end blow up. But it was like, nah, even him saving the world, it's really James Marsden saving Lois. It's like, I didn't think that was the way to go, guys.
All right. So James says Blade, the first one, the genesis of Marvel movies. So absolutely a good choice.
Which somehow always gets forgotten when they went and mentioned. They're always like, "Oh, it was Spider-Man that started." It's like, no, it was not.
No, it wasn't. It was Blade.
Stop. Like,
it was Blade, and then I thought it was X-Men, and then Spider-Man.
I was like, no. It's like, stop.
But Blade made it like, oh, we can make money off these. Let's do everything else.
Let's do it.
Captain Child says Deadpool. Solid choice.
Yeah,
because it definitely it shows how to do a comic book based off of a comic book character.
And it rated our version of a comic book movie, not Wolverine Origins.
Trash. All right, Chief, what's your choice?
Green Lantern. No. I don't care what y'all say. I love that movie. But
rep it to the death,
man.
Damn it.
All the way.
Damn. Actually, Blade 2. So the first one was good. First one was solid. But that Blade 2, that thing was kind of awesome. So Blade 2 would be my coming. I mean, it was pretty much action packed for the whole movie.
That's a good one too. Let's see. Ryan says James Marsden had to quit the X-Men franchise, and I quit right alongside him, where he was always in Wolverine's shadow to show up Superman in the Superman movie. Yeah.
I was watching something about what could have been on X-Men 3, and it was like, it still wasn't good. It's like
it's not like, oh, we need that cut. No, it was just cut. All right, Jay King, how about you? You gonna say Blade 3, Blade Trinity?
No, actually, I was gonna say Fantastic Four. The Alba cut.
Jordan, of course.
The most recent.
The Alba cut. No, honestly, for me, it's toss up between Dark Knight, Superman, Spider-Man 2. And to be honest with you, please, I would even throw the first Captain America, the First Avenger, because that was, to me, that was one of Marvel's Cinematic Universe's finest movies. That was one of their best movies. But if I have to choose at gunpoint, man, Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate making that choice because I want there to be some levity here or there. There's really not a lot of comedic moments in The Dark Knight, really.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was making my joke on when Joker sees old girl Rachel. He's like,
I mean,
that was funny.
That was funny, but I'm thinking more along the lines of like Ragnarok, right? Where you laughed during Ragnarok. There were some funny moments.
Mm-hmm.
I want to incorporate that because you got some of that in Spider-Man 2. But to me, for anybody, for people like the serious movie critics who say, "Oh, well, the comic book movies have no depth," and I'm like, "Yeah, bullshit. Watch Dark Knight."
Yeah, it's yeah. Like if you don't have to fight a critic, like somebody actually just, hey, I'm open to watching a movie. Like, is that our standard, Jeff? We have to fight critics?
No, it's a regular person who doesn't have a stuffy
not
thing.
jaded.
It's just like, yeah.
But even non-critics, right? You have people who are just devoid of comic book movies because they don't like the genre. They don't like comic. I never read comic books, so they're nerds, as I've heard, and all that kind of shit, right? I've challenged people to watch that movie and tell me you're not enjoying this movie. I dare you to come back and tell me you didn't enjoy this movie. And they've all said the same thing. No, it was dope. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Spider-Man 2, same thing. Brian, yeah.
Spider-Man 2,
Doc Ock.
Who?
Dr. Octopus.
Doc Ock.
Okay, that's the original one.
That's Green Goblin's the first one.
The first one.
The Dark Knight is an amazing film, but it transcends the comic book genre. I agree with you, Ryan. It's more of a crime saga movie that happens to feature guys from a comic book. Yeah, I love it, but that would be why I wouldn't put that on, because I feel like people who would watch that and then watch another comic book movie be like, this isn't like Dark Knight, and I'd be like, you're right, it's not.
But that's why I'm on the fence, because in that it's serious. Like you said, it's a crime saga. So if we're going straightforward comic, I'm going to go Spider-Man 2. And God, it's hard to go not Winter Soldier. I'm sorry, Captain America: First Avenger is such a good movie to me. Yeah, such a good movie to me.
It is. So you just mentioned mine. Mine would be The Winter Soldier, because there's so many great MCU films, but you would have to, and I think Iron Man's a good entry point, but you kind of have to lead them into caring about what happens in Infinity War. Like, I think if you've been along for the ride, Infinity War hits so great because, all these storylines have come together and it's like, wow, this is amazing. Like, that would be if you want to see a really great, awesome comic book movie, but you have to know the backstory to really appreciate it. So that's why I have to pull back on that one. Mm-hmm. Winter Soldier, I think, works because it's very similar to Dark Knight in the sense that it's serious, but it has enough comic book stuff. Hey, this dude survived falling in ice. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, and this guy has a super serum. Okay, and this guy's flying around on metal wings. Cool. There's a computer device that's going to kill people. And all these people are Hydra. So, and then Nick Fury has a laser sword that he doesn't remember in Secret Invasion. But there's so much cool stuff going around in that. And it's a big helicopter battle or helicarrier battle at the end. There's so much big, bold comic book stuff and the big betrayal of Hydra that I think it works. Like, oh, okay, show me more like that. Cool. I'm going to keep you on this MCU front because now that you're invested in Captain America, you'll go a little smoother. I don't think you need to watch Iron Man to any of his 3 movies to get invested in his character. I think him popping up in Civil War works. I think Avengers is another one. If you wanted to drop someone into the genre, it could work well because there's not as much backstory. I think you could follow along, but I think they're better films than the first Avengers, especially in the MCU front to go with. So that's where we go with that. Ryan says, I always think of Blake. I always think of the movie Heat when I watch The Dark Knight. That's true. Absolutely true.
She's got a great ass.
You want oh, that's no accident. Nolan had heat on the brain while he was making TDK. It certainly feels like, especially if you do a back-to-back on them. Afterchild. So I'm watching Winter Soldier, hearing that everybody is Hydra, and in my mind was boom. Yeah. I mean, it's such a crazy twist. And Shield hasn't been around that long in the MCU, but it still is like, wow, that's crazy. So that's my choice. I think we got some strong ones all around. Let's spin the wheel to the next genre. And Chief, I'm gonna let you start us off on this one because I want to see if your opinions change. Let's go with the fantasy genre. What would be your movie that you would go, hey, I want to introduce somebody to the fantasy genre?
Well, it's not gonna be your Lord of the Rings, even though I did enjoy. Because I think the third one, you got to get to the third one to
exactly.
So I think that's too far. You don't know, a whole bunch of stuff is happening at that point that you can't just jump into the third movie, right? So I would suggest, and this is going to be crazy in itself, but I think you kind of got to go with the Harry Potter series.
So you start with the first Harry Potter?
You know what?
Do that.
Yeah, I think what's the Chamber of Secrets maybe.
Second one, Jace?
Yeah, Chamber of Secrets, second one.
I think you could jump into the Chamber of Secrets and kind of go from there. It was kind of darker. Like the first one was kind of but I think the Chamber of Secrets was a little bit darker. And you don't want to get too far in because you'll get lost. I think Chamber of Secrets is a perfect place to land. And then once that hooks you, right after that, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Man, maybe that was his choice.
No, because I'm trying not to cheat. That's why I'm gonna listen because I need to. Yeah.
Prisoner of Azkaban, and then
that would be my start.
But that's my. I think. Well, I think you just going into the genre. I think you can watch the Chamber of Secrets and then move forward, and then because it's hooked you. Once you got the hook, because like I said, even though the first one was it was good, it wasn't. The ones that followed were greater because the characters started to develop more. The kids were young.
Yeah.
The first movie, you know what I mean? They're kind of that, and then as the movies got, as we started going up in the movies, the acting got better, the story got more better, the subject matter was more mature in a sense.
Yeah.
And it just developed through there. So, like I said, got Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, so on and so forth, all the way throughout the series. So, yeah.
Good call. J. King, what's yours?
Another one. It's where it's number one. Okay, well, number one and number two, I'll do that. Number one, Legend, because the Devil in Legend scared the shit out of me. I was 4 or 5 when I first saw that. This is what happens when you have young parents. You see things like Nightmare on Elm Street when you're 5. But to make that up to me, they took me to see Legend with the big red devil. But it's still a good story, even though it scared the hell out of me. And number 2 is Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth is a weird, good movie. It's a weird, good fantasy movie. Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, okay. I never saw that.
Yeah. Check that one out.
Is it horror or fantasy?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, okay. So let's see what some of the guys have said in the chat. Ryan says, I think the most comic book movie ever made is Avengers Infinity War. So true. But I wouldn't start anybody with that. Exactly. The first Avengers, though, is a great primer for the modern comic genre. That is, I think, a really good solid choice. And then 89 Batman. It's funny because I like the second one more. Mm-hmm. I feel like, I don't know, I just like the second one more. But yeah, the first Batman is great.
Hold up, Jeff, real quick.
Yo.
Did it feel like the second Burton Batman wasn't as appreciated as it should have been?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like it's underrated, and I'm not quite sure why. But I mean, because it was like, I felt like the first one is so the Jack Nicholson show, and he's really great, but he is so the dominating presence. Whereas in Batman Returns, Keaton gets more space to operate. His relationship with Michelle Pfeiffer's character is more nuanced. It's like, oh, are we supposed to fight now? I love that scene in the movie. It's really good. Alfred's doing his thing. We get 2 villains.
Really 3 villains. I mean, you
It
get
is-
Christopher Walken,
right,
you
right.
get Penguin, you get Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean,
Penguin
that's
kid.
yeah.
Slim.
It's
You're
so
fine.
good.
Yeah.
And then like when she gets home and shatters up hello there, it's like that's awesome.
Hmm.
So much good stuff in that. Afton Child says James Cameron Avatar. You know, I would love if someone could watch it in 3D. I think that's a really good choice for it. And Jane says that was a good movie too. Afton says, fun fact, I watched Avatar as a kid. When I got home from school, my parents were about to watch it and I joined them and loved it.
That's good.
Gosh, I'm trying to think like, yeah, the first one is really that old, huh?
Mhm.
Jeez, gosh. I
Yeah.
feel like it was that long ago. I guess it was. All right, so let's see here. Jace, then do you. What's yours?
I'm gonna go Willow. Because she messed me up a little bit because I was gonna say Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite because it very much doesn't have the bad guy, and then it's the first one that doesn't have the bad guy, and it's like, oh, you don't need to have the bad guy to do it. I think Willow on the other hand is this very fantasy. It's like it's very different characters. And you get it's like you get a bad guy you can root against, you get heroic performances, and you're seeing it is a magical experience. And I think that is, if I was trying to take somebody in the genre, I'm like, go here, and then I can get you into Harry Potter, I think, with no problem after that, and you'll be like, oh yeah, this is one of my favorite things to watch.
I knew you were going to be my guy, and you were going to ruin it for me. That's why I made sure I had a backup. Yeah,
Hey,
James, Willow was ahead of his time. Good movie. Ryan says that was top of my list. Exactly. So my backup.
I think we were all mad the fact that they couldn't do a sequel, like a TV series. Like, hey, we would go there with you, but we just have
a
too much
TV
content.
show that you can watch on Disney Plus. Wait.
Oh,
Right. All right. So since I knew you might take Willow, if I didn't go first, my backup is The Princess Bride. As you wish. So I really like that one. I think that one is a really good one. Great performances, great villains, and has a good mix of fantasy and humor and just all kinds of cool stuff with that, where you can kind of get into the sword play. It's got some good duels. And Fezzik, oh, what do you do? So I think Inconceivable. It's really good.
I thought
I
you
think
were
that's
going
one.
with
Huh?
I thought you were gonna go with Never Ending Story for a second.
That's the one I was going to say.
That's another
You
one.
needed another backup. That was
That's what I thought. So because that damn wolf at the end, when he was looking at the pictures on the wall, and the last one had the picture of the wolf in the cage, and then he turned around and there it was, bro.
Yeah.
How old was we? What year was that? 84?
We were really young, and that
We were like 9?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the first. I mean, like that story was so ahead of its time. It's like you actually had somebody dying because they just gave up hope. I mean, that was like.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is why this is why we're tougher, because we had to deal with all this stuff when we were kids. We had to shoot a train.
Optimus Prime.
Okay,
Jeff.
Betrayal.
Oh yeah, we're built with different stuff because our movies toughened us up. Like, okay, there is good, but there's good in the world. That's the good thing. At the end of the day, it sucks, but it gets better, and I think that's what helps us so much.
Bro, Blake, man, that game messed me up too, man. At the end, when my man touched that piece of evil, that was another movie where I was young, and he blew up or something happened to him, and I remember going, I don't understand what just. I don't. My mind would not wrap around that. I said, "Damn, he went through all this just to touch some evil at the end."
Ryan says, best part of Willow, they tell you Matt Mardigan is the greatest sword fighter and then don't put a sword in his hand for an hour. That's a really good point. Delayed gratification is a lost art.
It really is.
Princess Bride was second on my list.
That's with the
That's with Warwick Davis.
Yeah,
You've seen Willow, right?
I don't remember.
Okay, I think we're gonna have to bump something up to the watch list if you cannot remember seeing Willow.
Bro, for some reason I don't feel like I need to see Willow. I think
no.
If you don't remember that you haven't seen it.
You have not. You don't remember Val Kilmer as Mad Mardigan?
Who?
It's 3 more avatars? Good Lord.
Yeah, they're coming up with
Hold on, man. You know, I piss me off about Avatar. This bad boys way they're doing it. You got the original Bad Boys, and then 16 years later, Bad Boys 2 comes out, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, Bad Boys
Old
3
Boys
comes
comes
out.
out.
And now all of a sudden they're doing Willow the same. I never saw the second one. I never even want to watch it.
Which one?
Avatar. Avatar said Willow at the end, but
Yeah,
okay. I never saw the second one. Did you see the Avatar 2?
No, it's on Disney Plus. I'm going.
Did you watch it though?
You know what? Maybe we should make that the movie then.
it's a long movie.
Time Bandits was awesome.
Man, that messed me up. Yeah.
I
forgot about that.
Hold on to Road Warrior. I think that's another genre. I'm thinking like alien creatures thrown into the mix with fantasy, probably some sword
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, that's
post-apocalyptic.
Mad Max kind of.
Shout out for the movie Stardust, based on the Neil Gaiman story. Such is evil. Yeah, his parents bought it. Exactly. So we've gone through that. All right, let's lighten the mood a little bit since we talked about all this trauma and heartache. Let's go with the best comedy. I'm going to give this separate one so you can go different ways. So we're going to start off with comedy. Then we're going to go with wild bro comedy. And then if you've got one, romantic comedy. So start off with your rom-com bit of choice. I'll go first this time.
Surprise there.
You know what? I'll go last. Just to keep it consistent. JC seemed upset. Why don't you go first?
No, because I was gonna steal. I know I'm gonna steal yours. That's why I'm not even. I'm like, oh man, should I take that? But I think I'm gonna go with Hitch. I think Hitch. Like
Hitch isn't a rom-com. Hitch isn't a rom-com.
Hitch is a rom-com.
That's what I said. We're breaking it up. Comedy. Then your wild out bro comedy.
Oh, okay. So my comedy is going to be. I'm gonna go with Dodgeball. Like I mean, if you could dodge a wrench, you dodge a ball.
Dodge, dip.
What's the last one? Dodge.
Right.
The mask Jim Carrey style too.
Like I'm not gonna step on anybody else. So, but Dodgeball gives you a comic villain. You know, you got your straight man kind of with Vince Vaughn, and all the other characters have their own unique personality. And I do laugh at that movie the whole way through. So exactly.
Hey.
All right. James Green says Tropic Thunder is comedy.
He is correct, man. Robert Downey Jr. killed that. Get some crab, get some crawfish from the patio.
What are you doing?
When I was a saucier in San Antone.
Oh my god! I mean, like that is one of those movies they would try and say, "Oh, it's so bad." I'm like, no, it's hilarious. Get over yourself. Like,
leave it be.
Robert Downey Jr. Without that Robert Downey Jr. Man, the movie it goes down.
That's not
Robert
a movie.
Downey Jr. and Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is about to say,
man.
Hey, you! I just want to tell you, we don't argue.
Right.
We were supposed to get a whole movie.
The United Nations is gonna have to give me a binding agreement to pull me off of your ass. Man, that's your
We're supposed to get a whole movie of him as that character.
Are you near the key grip? Yeah, you near him? Yeah, well punch him in his face.
I said it, punch him in his face.
Let's we had the
big
hands,
punch him in the face.
super hands.
Oh man.
At the end he started dancing.
At a dance.
Yeah, man. Tropic Thunder is a good one, man.
I think we would all take Tom Cruise way too seriously if we did not see that movie. We're like, oh, Tom, you're cool.
I mean, it was perfectly timed because that was right after the couch jumping thing. People were like, oh, whatever. He's funny in Tropic Thunder.
He said, yeah, some people get the kids. He's like, I get this kid. And he's a picture of him sitting with the kid. The kid's just looking away from him. Man, bro, there's so many gems in that movie. I love that movie. That is a great movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Chief, what's your choice then? Would it
Guy
be
comedy?
Yeah. No, just regular comedy. Regular comedy.
Huh?
Regular comedy.
Just regular comedy?
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna sound like a this is gonna sound a little crazy, man, because probably not a lot of people got with it, man. But I died laughing from She's Out of Your League.
Dude,
Bro,
that was hilarious.
That movie is funny.
So funny.
I mean, hey, y'all, I'm gonna teach y'all that it's time to do that dance I taught you. Really?
No, he said she's out of your league. She's all that.
Yeah, you
So
saw
long.
She's Out of Your League with
Justin Long. Oh yeah, Alice Eve. Yeah, oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that joint is hilarious, man.
So hey, guy, I know that's not your part, but you know,
Monica Riles is here, forgetting Sarah Marshall. Absolutely.
What? I'm out the snow. Bullshit.
That's where I got that part from.
You need a huddle.
Lord of the Rings. You shall not pass. That was the only thing I knew it was from.
That's
a good one.
Hilarious. That is, that's one of my favorites. Blake says, Cheever, anyone, you have to watch Tropic Thunder with DVD commentary on it. RDJ is in character the whole time. I will.
Are you
this week?
No,
that's happening this week.
I will watch it right now.
Absolutely.
Right. Shoot. I don't.
How do we not know that?
I don't listen to the director's commentary, but that would make it worthwhile.
Wow.
Blues Brothers says Ryan Daly. Nice, taking it back. RJ King, what you got?
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And look, Jason can attest to this. I used to get high as a rocket and watch that movie, right? And then I always thought of people would tell you gotta be high. No, you don't. It's funny. Trust me on this. It's so many scenes in that movie, man. Bats, Dr. Gonzo, and what was Raul Duke and what was
Raul Duke and Dr. Gonzo,
my attorney. Man, the elevator scene. So he calls him out for lying. So hold on, watch
out. We watched that movie way too much in our house.
Kawasaki's Prasangs. Like, you have to see that movie, man. That movie is hilarious.
Yeah, like this it's very much one of those. You do not. It's like just go in expecting you're gonna laugh, and it's not gonna be funny joke comedy. It's watch it, and the stuff that happens during the movie is what's gonna get you. It's like it's not a ha ha ha, but it's like you will laugh your tail off when you actually watch it. Oh gosh.
All right, so I saw Fear and Loathing on acid in the movie theater. Longest 2 years.
Longest 2 years of your life. I can imagine. On acid. That's yeah.
James says get him to the Greek. Continuing the love
out the snow.
Yeah. He said, I let you do it. And what did you bring me? Chocolate Daddy. And that's how we got Chocolate Daddy, baby.
I'm very proud of those units.
Something's garbage.
I'm very proud of those units. Hey, when he told him, don't talk.
Is that whose phone's that? Throw it outside the door. How many kookaroos you got?
I just make the Africa face.
Right. All right, my choice that I can't believe managed to survive through to me is absolutely 100% Coming to America. Sexual Chocolate, gotta give it up. That movie is guaranteed. If I'm a crappy mood, I can put that on and I'm in tears probably before Sexual Chocolate comes on stage. Because the whole bit, the dialogue, so funny. So many memorable lines. Yes, in the face.
Bark like a dog.
Yeah.
Big dog.
Possible not to laugh watching that movie. That's what makes me shed a little tear thinking that we got Coming to America too, which was
what?
God,
we didn't get that. I would have loved to see a sequel, but it didn't happen.
It never happened.
Yeah. All right, so now it's time for bro comedy, and since we've snaked, I'm going back with my first choice. Now, good and terrible, exactly. Absolutely. Harlem Nights, James. Absolutely.
Oh, that's a good one.
Shot me in the pinky toe.
Eddie.
So since I decided to be diplomatic and use my draft choice properly, my bro comedy, without a doubt, is The Hangover. You mean the drug dealer wasn't a good guy?
I knew you was gonna pick the hangover.
Crying tears every time he goes off on that scene.
Gosh. What else is there?
There's tons of dude comedies.
It's
several.
A hot tub.
Yeah.
Step Brothers says Blake.
Is that a bro comedy though?
I mean, a bro comedy is anything with wild, crazy stuff happening.
I just thought it was a group
where
of friends.
You might not want to watch it with your lady.
Yeah.
So
you got some hitters. I got a couple, man, but I can't give like old school.
The Catalina Wine.
You got old school. If I gotta take my pick, old school's my modern old school.
It's my boy Blue.
My boy Blue.
Old school was
crazy.
Fantastic, yo.
I like you, but you're crazy. That man, Porky's. Porky's still to this day.
Jason's running over his collection to see what he's gonna choose. Porky's, that's solid.
That is exactly what I had to do. Exactly what I had to do.
I mean, it's live. You don't have to hide the camera. What's your choice then, bro?
Oh, I'm going. Mine is American Pie. It's like I thought that was the perfect use of all those characters. High point, laugh your tail off, and I mean, it is definitely probably. If you watch it now, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, all this is so offensive," and it's like, "Yes, it is. It's actually funny. You're right. It's completely offensive and perfectly funny." So I think American Pie and everybody has a great role in that. You know, I can't say half the jokes in it is perfect. You know, it's really. Porky's is a good one too. Like
Grown Ups is that is a solid bro movie choice there.
Yeah.
Very good choice. Chief, what you got?
I had one, man, but then Chase turned off his camera and walked off screen, and I was like, "Where's Chase going?" And then
blame it on Chase.
Then you disappeared, man. A bro comedy.
I mean, Talladega Nights.
I didn't think Talladega Nights was all that funny, man. What? I'll tell you what. The joint with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart when he was about to go to jail.
Get Hard?
Get Hard?
Get Hard? Really?
Get Hard, man. Get Hard had me crying, bro. Will Ferrell is hilarious in that joint, man. You know that and the first joints of the first one. Was it the first one? I think it was the first one with Ron Burgundy and the crew.
Anchorman.
Oh, Anchorman. Oh my gosh.
Delay.
Anchorman. That movie is. I have not watched the sequel of it because I'm like, how could y'all have screwed this up? Like, I did not buy how you messed that one up.
Dude, and an honorable mention to Knocked Up. We ain't say Knocked Up. Not Knocked Up. I'm sorry. 40-Year-Old Virgin. 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
the whole premise of Knocked Up was unbelievable.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
Talladega is a good choice, Ryan. Absolutely. I mean,
pull my butt apart. My honcho.
Ricky Bobby.
No, when John C. Reilly told him that summer he went away to community college, he pulled his butt apart as Mike Honcho. He didn't say he spread. He said I did a spread for Playgirl, man. I mean spread. I pulled my butt apart and stuff.
He was very hilarious in that movie. 40-Year-Old Virgin is another great choice.
That's a definite dude comedy.
Since you're using big words, I'm going to take that as disrespect, and then I'm going to come back with my boys, and I'm going
Today's forecast, cloudy with a chance of drive-by. That was a good one, man. That was a good one.
All right, so now we're into the rom-com phase. Because I know we've all seen rom-coms. We're going to try to fake. Jace, just go ahead and do the walk, man. It's all right. We're here. It's a safe space.
Okay.
Or maybe just bring the column over them. All right.
I gotta go.
Chief, what you got?
My favorite romantic comedy, man. Every year, around Christmas time, I put it in, man. You know what I mean? I grab my woman, and we just cry and we laugh, man.
Cry.
And it's, you know what I mean? Love Actually.
It's not a comedy.
It is a
Yeah,
comedy.
it is.
All right.
I'll give him Love Actually. Is
Okay. Wait. What we say it's a comedy though? What we say it's a rom com though?
Yeah.
Who?
Like, I mean, like,
it's a bit from the movie.
It's
What we
Love
say she's
Actually
chubby?
is a comedy. That joint is hilarious.
What we say she's chubby?
Yeah. With the
Her ankles
girl,
are
you talking about
positive
the girl at the
reviews.
end?
Yeah.
He fell in love with.
Right.
And
What we
then,
say she's chubby?
and then he shows up at the house and they leave. She's like, I hate him. Yeah, it's a comedy to me.
That's solid. I can't argue with that. I put it in my holiday section, but yeah, I'm with you. That's a good one. I do enjoy that movie.
You cried
Mel
too.
Sharp. Huh?
You cried too.
Did you call on me, Jeff?
What's your rom com?
Hold on.
What?
Oh shit! Now you gonna hold up the call?
I'm sorry it took so long, but I had to do the full gimmick for you, Chief.
You know what I mean? Before Rick went crazy.
Exactly. Carl. That's what drove him crazy. We had Ra's al Ghul, we had Baron Mordo in that, we had Elizabeth Swann, we had all kinds of folks in that movie.
Yeah. Karen
Knight. Yeah.
Snape. All right. J. King, what you got? Professor
Weapon
McGonagall?
3.
That's your rom-com choice?
Because they should have just got it over and did it already, Murtaugh and Riggs. No, in all honesty, let me see, Groundhog Day. And people say that's not a rom-com. Yeah, it is. It's a rom-com. They end up falling in love with it.
Groundhog Dog is one of my favorite movies. You're absolutely correct. That is hilarious. Bill Murray I think it's one of Bill Murray's greatest movies.
Movies, yeah. One of his best.
That and probably Ghostbusters. I'm not. Caddyshack was a little bit before our time. Like we were real young.
But that wasn't really his movie. That was more Chevy Chase's movie than his.
Yeah.
So that. So yeah, I'll go. Groundhog Day was hilarious, man. Phil, Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Let's see here. In the interest of being fair to my own thing, my rom-com would have been the movie that I introduced to my wife, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. But I won't say that. I'm going to say a different one. I'm going to go with Crazy Rich Asians, because that movie was a spectacle and it was really funny. And I liked how they were just like, yo, check out all this money. It's great, isn't it? So yeah, I like that one. That would be my choice. And yeah, it's good stuff. All right, let's see. Where will we go now?
You're going with my Hitch one?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Now you can pull up Hitch.
Yeah, now I go Hitch. Will Smith, Eva Mendes, and
Hitch was good.
Yeah, that's good.
Blake says a broke comedy, but with chicks, Bridesmaids, hilarious.
Yeah, that's cool.
Melissa
McCarthy's
career.
Did y'all? That was the one I was hoping was going to be funny. I think because the main character was so not funny. That's what threw me off in that movie.
What, Bridesmaid?
Yeah,
Annie was the straight woman. Everybody else
she
was
real like this. Sad. It was just like
with Jace.
Hey,
that was
She was
supposed to be.
She was having trouble finding love, Jace. Let the girl live.
Dude, that scene on the plane. That scene on the plane when she's off the drugs and I'm here and I'm ready to party. Hey man, when she did the and such is gonna take us to dinner. We're gonna meet with the owner. And she's, you know the owner, you do. Big whoop. Hey man, Annie was that scene was that whole airplane scene was funny as hell.
The diarrhea scene got me.
Oh,
that's what messed me up. That's what I did not like this. It was just
look away.
She's pooping in the street.
Roxanne, I would have went with Splash. Splash was
Splash. Yeah.
You remember Splash? If you gonna go
Daryl Hannah and what's that? Daryl Hannah
and John Candy.
John Candy.
Tom Hanks. Excuse me. The comedic John Candy was hilarious. The Swedish
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we throw Money Pit in there?
Oh, Money Pit.
Oh man.
Oh, Money Pit was good.
Classic.
Honestly, Tom Hanks, if you did not know him from his start when he was comedy, you would not understand how funny he was.
That dude, hey man, look, between Bachelor Party,
Mm-hmm.
Money Pit,
What's the Joe meets the volcano?
Joe meets the volcano, the Burbs.
Yeah.
Oh, Burbs is one of
Burbs,
those
yes.
underrated movies.
Burbs is hilarious.
Tom Hanks, he's had a hell of a career, bro.
He has.
And really, with the comedies, you wouldn't realize how great an actor he was until he started doing the more serious things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it seemed like he had to move from the comedy genre, and then finally he got into,
he's one of
drama things.
And he's one of the few that kind of did that. I don't think everybody gets to do that.
Michael Keaton.
Where they go.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton. And Michael Keaton's a dude. No, he's another one. Michael Keaton, his comedy movies are hilarious. Gung Ho, Hunt Stevens. Oh my God.
Yeah, but and when dudes are like that, their career spans. Because Michael Keaton's still making movies.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Ryan Gosling too, Ryan Daly. You're right.
Mars and the Real Girl is Ryan Gosling and a sex doll, but it's not vulgar or gross. It is inexplicably the most romantic and sweet movie I've ever seen. I did not see that movie, so based on your recommendation, Ryan, I'm gonna check it out. Mr. Mom, yes, that was
Mr. Mom, dude.
Yeah.
Hey man, Martin Mull as the jerk off boss in Mr. Mom is hilarious. He has one of the most dismissive scenes in movie history where he says, "Yeah, it's something's great. That's great, Jack. It's Jack. Yeah, you betcha." It's like totally dismissive of him, man. That's so
all right, let's see here. Let's go with another one. Let's go with the best revenge movie.
Ooh.
Okay, Jeff, go first because I was going to take yours.
I have multiple options, so I'll let you go first, and I'll take whichever other one that you want.
Oh, okay. This is my first one. I got a revenge movie.
Damn.
You need me to come back to you?
I hope you don't take mine.
Come back because I don't. I mean, we talked about which in my head is Count of Monte Cristo. Like that was what we talked about last week. That again, I told you I was going to steal yours.
You did.
I really did. Like, you sure you want to keep coming? But yeah, I think if you want to see a long played out revenge, I can do another one if you want.
Nope, you've already said your one.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna take that one. Count of Monte Cristo.
Look, he thinks you're gonna take his. He's like, nope.
He knows I was gonna go to the second one. He's like, nope, I know you're gonna go there. So shut up.
Not Crisco. Yes, Monte Cristo.
Monte Cristo. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so mine is Kill Bill Volume 1.
I was like, wait, that's the other one.
I'm right. Y'all not even gonna be on my level with it. Okay.
She is so ridiculous with the whole. I mean, I love the structure of the movie where it's all told out of order, and I think that's the best version of it that Tarantino's done. He has other films that work in this. Ryan mentioned another, the Django Unchained, really solid. James said The Italian Job, really good one. Memento, nice choice. I think after saying one that I figure some others of you all might.
Or a thriller.
Huh?
Like,
which one?
Memento is always one of my the thriller. That's a great thriller. But he probably falls right where you say it though.
It depends on your point of view. But like Kill Bill, Volume 1. I need to make that distinction. Animation scene is so creative. It's my favorite Tarantino film. And the soundtrack is awesome. You know, we just like Vivica A. Fox doing like action scenes, like, what is this? And then Lucy Liu, she's just cool, and her whole crew, Charlie Brown. Love that movie. It's great. Definitely one of my favorites, not even just in terms of that genre. But yeah, I feel like if you'd watch that, you want to watch the second, and then you want to watch more revenge films. All right, Chief, since we're not on your level, what you got? Look at the smile.
Word.
I'm gonna hit you with the Drewski voice. Revenge of the Nerds. And me, Little Lamar. Hey, bro, let me tell you something, cuz That movie there, Ogre. Hey, babe, look, that movie was the 80s movie. Like, if you say, man, what's the 80s movie? You put Revenge of the Nerds on that joint, and it's pure 80s, bro. I mean, they was pop locking. You had everything in that movie, man.
I'm saying, that's one of those movies. It was so 80s. It's like, you might get there, look, somebody turns to you like, what do you have me watch?
It's a time capsule movie for sure.
Hey,
but
bro,
it's
my
quality.
man got on that joint. They was grooving like a mug. Man, that movie, man, that joint was awesome, bro. Revenge of the Nerds. Come on.
I can see.
I'm not at your level.
All right.
Oh, gosh.
J. King, what you got?
I got 2 for the price of 1, The Crow and Gladiator.
I'm not entertained.
Nothing was more satisfying. Nothing was more satisfying than the deaths of the antagonists at the end of those movies. By the end of Gladiator, when Comatose went up there and did that punk ass shit when he stabbed Maximus, and Maximus he's dying, and I'm like, I'm still gonna whoop your ass. I'm dying, and I'm gonna kick. If I was healthy, hey man, he'd probably buried his face in the sand like on some little kid playground shit, man. He beat Comatose like he had everything was on the line.
Again, he beat that was it. I'm dying, but I got that. I got one more silver dollar. I'm cashing it in on your tail.
Chase, I got 1 cylinder left, and it's gonna throttle your ass. That's what that was about. I loved every second of that. And The Crow, because of how his death, everything was going for this guy, and then the way he gets back. And everybody, it's just everything about that movie, man. Revenge. Wrath of God.
Solid choice. I think Afton might win with this one. John Wick movies. Yeah. You don't even need to specify. They just work.
Hey, Afton, I'm gonna comment on that. I want to choose because I watched John Wick. I watched John Wick eating cereal. Like, I love those movies. But the thing is, I forgot it was even revenge. I thought John Wick was just killing.
Well, the first one was about revenge. I think after the first one, he was just back in the business.
It was every time they kept trying
to come at him.
Blew up his house in the second one.
Yeah.
This was the third one. He owed a marker. And then the fourth one.
I don't even know.
Get revenge. And the fourth one, he
somebody ate his sandwich. I thought somebody took a bite out of the sandwich when he got up from a table or something.
He take a bite out of
everybody. I'm gonna kill Paris now.
He said, "Why did you put your hands on my son?" Well, he stole our John Wick's car and he killed his dog.
Oh.
He did that. Oh gosh.
John Wick. Awesome choice. That's great.
See? Monica.
These are solid choices you're bringing to the table.
Very solid choice.
I love this. I feel like I'm doing good work here with the movie viewing in the home.
There you go.
Hey man, you got to do it sometimes. All right, here we go. Sci-fi. I'm gonna go first.
Go for it. We're not gonna steal your eye. Like, go with it.
Oh shoot.
Here. Got a ready-made prop ready to bring out.
What is that?
Okay.
Okay.
The Empire Strikes Back. Because to me, that's the sci-fi movie for me. So much stuff. Watching these guys get the heroes on the run, still revelatory watching. It's like, wait, they're supposed to win the entire time. No, sir. They are like on the run. As soon as they bring out these AT-ATs, just like taking cheap shots at the soldiers, not even worrying about the generators. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Throwing out bounty hunters to go get them because I really need this Luke Skywalker kid. You don't have to watch the first one. You can catch up from the scroll. It gets you there. But, oh, man, there's so much stuff in this. And the lightsaber duel, they're better ones, but it's still my favorite one just because Darth Vader is like, let me see what this kid's about. Oh, word? Okay. All right, I'm gonna take you to level 2, and then he's just like going after him again, cheating hard, and then Luke is like, "Nah, I got you." Bam, and then Vader's really pissed off. There goes your hand, and told you come at me again like this, kid. And then the big bombshell, of course, the space fights, Everything about that movie is sci-fi to the core for me. After Child says Blade Runner 2049. It's a solid one. Definitely gets you into the sci-fi mindset. Chief, what's your sci-fi pick?
I didn't know you was gonna pick it. Excellent. I'm gonna blow it for all of y'all. I'm sorry. Not movie 1, but movie 2. Aliens with an S.
Oh,
gotcha.
God.
I knew
Damn.
I was gonna blow somebody with that.
Rudy Tom Jones.
Hey, bro, that joint.
Game
there,
over, Chief. Game over.
Yes, sir.
Woo, man.
Yes, sir.
Jeez. That joint.
This wasn't the alien
bro.
jazz hands from part 1. That was serious.
Oh,
What was so great about that to you, Chief?
the Marine Corps, them getting first of all, they go into the abandoned spot, right? So what's my man? Bill Paxton.
Mhm.
He's got the
Hudson.
Hudson. He's got the motion detector. All right, man, they're 30 yards out, man. 20, 10. That thing's broken. They're in the room.
Right.
Hey, man, it's reading right, man. It's reading right. You know what I mean? My man
the
poked up a
performance
little
in that was
joint.
great.
Them joints was closing in. Listen, this time it wasn't the android, but it was on one of the own people who tried to bring an alien back. He knew what was going on.
Bad call, Chief. It was a bad call.
Man. And then the weapons. They had weapons this time. Like it's still like, yo, this joint was And then when my shorty
Who's firing? Who's firing?
Vasquez.
What's the girl's name?
Vasquez.
Vasquez. Yeah. So she him and the lieutenant. She popped a grenade. He looked over at her. She was like, man, that joint, they was just gangster all the way around.
They was.
Yeah. Hey, Vasquez, you ever been confused for a man?
No, have you?
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's always one of those.
What a bastard, Blake. What a bastard.
Yeah.
Perfect on that.
It's definitely
Yeah.
satisfying.
It was.
Yeah.
Got him. All right. James Green's ready for the mic drop. RoboCop.
Okay.
Fight me.
RoboCop was good.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yep.
James Cameron said he's making a movie about Vietnam set in space. Hey, listen, I will never fight anybody on aliens. That is on my top 10 list. Not my extended top 20, top 30, definitely top 10. So I love aliens. The cocky Marines. Like, we've done this so many times. Like, I really bought into the fact that they've been together for all these random missions. That would be a movie I wanted to see a prequel of if they could de-age everyone. But I love that whole thing. And Ripley's like, listen, I think y'all need to listen. Yeah, sweetheart, we got this.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
Their dismissiveness of her, like, this thing took up my whole crew, and that's it. In 5 minutes, and it was like, oh well, we'll listen a little bit, and then just them getting decimated,
out.
Being like, hey, you can't use these weapons.
Yeah, he was like, collect the ammo and put it in the bag.
No, who was the guy?
What are you talking about?
Who was?
And then Hicks is like, whatever. I got my shotgun.
No, dude, the guy that was driving the vehicle, how dismissive he was until he seen the aliens. Was like he froze, completely froze.
All were freezing.
I need to have a dispersing blast of
yes. Oh man,
retreating ammo. Come on.
Yeah. Hey Pone.
What?
Lay down a firing
round of fire.
Right. What? I can't. They got the sword is gone, man. The sword is gone.
The sword is gone.
That was an excellent movie, bro. Excellent movie.
What's
the other one that copied off of it? It was cheesy, but I liked it too with the bugs. Starship Troopers.
Oh, Starship Troopers. Starship
Oh
Troopers.
my god.
Medic.
Starship Troopers was
I don't even know if I call that a ripoff. That's just awesome.
Okay, so y'all did like it too. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. 80s Kid says Tron. Tron's solid. You see Tron 3D? That is one of the best uses.
Okay.
Also, Doom, not Doom. Dread. Hey, J King, what you got?
Terminator. Terminator 1 and 2. I don't care. Fight me.
All right. Ryan says
both
T2
of them.
and Total Recall.
Hey man, look. Hey,
Ryan's been paying too much attention to you. He's going with 2.
He's going with 2. Look, Terminator 1 and 2, man. Terminator 1 because it was like when that came out, it was like, man, we ain't never seen nothing like this.
No, sir.
You know, it was great. Like, and it was crazy too because John Connor sent his father back in time to pork his mom so he could be born.
Hey man,
Like that should mess your
Hey,
mind up.
you know, you gotta do these.
right.
That's what you gotta do.
Dad,
That's
do you
what
need
gotta
me
do.
to draw you a picture? Okay, I just
Yeah.
No, this is what she looks like. Go
You'll
for it.
figure it out.
He was the man
Back
for
to
a
1980.
while, wasn't he? With that
Who that?
sci-fi. I mean,
Michael
he had
Bay?
that,
Yeah,
Running
he's in
Man,
Aliens,
Terminator movies,
Aliens.
Predator. He kicked off the
Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in Aliens too.
He was the main bad dude in. Well, I mean, he wasn't Curly Bill, but he was the one everybody was shook on.
Yeah.
You
Who?
wouldn't
He
recognize.
was the one Doc Holliday fought in the
Doc
end.
Holliday,
I'll be your Huckleberry. Johnny Ringo.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about Johnny Ringo? Okay.
Yeah, Michael Bay, man, he was in everything. Him and James Remar. James Remar was an
Okay.
asshole.
No, I know who you're talking about. No, I'm saying Schwarzenegger had a run, and then y'all was like, he was Doc, and I was like,
Oh no! Schwarzenegger's still running.
well, I'm just saying he had a run of movies. I was naming his movies, and then you were
Oh,
like,
okay. I'm sorry.
Oh,
and then you were
okay,
like Doc Holliday, and then it threw me off. I was like, what?
I don't remember that cut.
Right, I don't. I'm sitting there. I was like,
I'll be your Huckleberry.
No, yeah, but yeah, he just had a run of sci-fi movies. The Sixth Day, the joint with the devil. That movie was awesome.
What was that? What was that?
Racer.
End of Times or some End of Days.
End of Days. End of Days.
I just watched that not long ago. That was
Dude, I don't know. After 91, after Terminator 2, Arnold just went.
You think
like,
so?
Yeah, I couldn't get into nothing else cheap. I didn't watch but you know what? I didn't give End of Days a fair shake. I watched True Lies and Eraser. I thought,
True Lies
man,
was amazing.
It was. I don't know.
Oh man!
It was all right.
All right,
I didn't think it was amazing.
Okay,
Jace, you're last,
Hey.
man.
all right. I'm gonna throw out one that is ridiculous, but then I'll come up with my actual. My if you want to have an entry level into sci-fi, why not go with a movie that has it all? Doomsday. If you want to know everything you could possibly see in a sci-fi movie.
Oh wait! Chief, you haven't seen Doomsday.
What's that? What's that?
My
Doomsday.
friend.
Who's the star?
I think now, Jace,
Rena
I
Miro.
have a real candidate for our last movie,
Who?
for our next movie.
Rena Miro. Like if you want, if you
The bootleg.
Kate Beckinsale,
Kate,
she's
Beckinsale.
there. I mean, yeah.
If you can't get Kate Beckinsale, call up Rona Mitra.
Oh, Rona Mitra?
Hmm.
All right.
You haven't seen Doomsday. We're gonna watch that. That's Doomsday.
Mankind has an expiration date.
What is Doomsday? Oh, but Doomsday's not through the next movie we watch.
I think I did see that.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think.
When did this come out?
Yeah, the Bentley.
Yeah, there was a Bentley at the end. Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe.
When did this come out? What year?
Doomsday movie came out 2008.
Mm-hmm.
It's absurd. It was so bad, Javon. I watched. It's like I was
That
serious.
sounds right
like,
up my alley.
This is the
It
worst.
always so is.
But I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen, or one of them. And then,
Wow.
But for real, it was like, but you know, as I was watching more movies that were more fitting to the title "Worst Movie I've Ever Seen," I started thinking about Doomsday, and I rarely think about a film that I hated. It was like maybe they were onto something. So then I watched it again. I was like, this movie's insane, but it's really entertaining. I kind of think I really, really like this movie. That's how that film plays out for me. It was so bad to a complete 180. I'm like, do I like Doomsday? I think I do. And I love this thing. It's ridiculous, but it just leans, it like breaks the wall. It leans so hard into its ridiculousness. It's like, we don't care.
See.
We're going for it.
All right, I can deal with that.
If the fact you have not seen that movie, I recommend highly you watch that movie.
I know, man. We need to do it.
This movie is insanely ridiculous.
Yeah,
All right, Jace, I gotta see it now. Event
Ryan
Horizon is a
says-
great choice.
sci-fi
Event
horror
Horizon.
alien in Event Horizon.
I haven't seen Event Horizon.
What was in her event? I know I've seen it, but what happened in it?
It's a haunted ship, basically. Lawrence Fishburne takes what's my man who played the doctor from Jurassic Park? He
Sam
Oh, yeah,
took him
yeah.
on
Okay.
expedition to reclaim that ship. Yeah. And then they find out that ship is haunted with like I don't know, space ghosts or some shit. I don't know. Ryan could probably explain it better.
Don't call him Larry though. Don't call him Larry Fishburne.
Don't call him Larry. You might get a black eye. He does not like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think Event Horizon, I think I remember that. They tried to blow the ship at the end.
I can't believe you didn't
Yeah.
say the big movie star in that.
He was not in that. He was not on the picture. They shoehorned him into that. It was not. There was no.
Yeah,
there was no Brad Pitt in that original.
No, was that Colin? Look like Colin Farrell. It made him look like
funny. We
Colin
haven't
Farrell
done one
right
of
there.
his. I haven't seen that one. Let's see. Event Horizon was good too. And Ryan said, surprise, Chief didn't say this.
That was my second one, but we went with Doom. I mean, we went with Doomsday.
The Matrix was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Part one of The Matrix was that was the first movie that I clapped. Well, the only movie I've ever clapped when the movie was ending. Like in the movie theater, the whole movie theater was just like.
That was amazing. Yeah.
And probably I didn't mention it probably because the fall off was so ridiculous.
That's the case. It's like it's your entry, and then you have to say, "All right, is there a sequel?" You're like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
bro,
I remember
we went from clapping in the movie theater to like, what the hell just happened?
I remember being in the theater for that movie, and the scene where he and Agent Smith are in the subway and they're fighting, and instead of running, Keanu does the whole.
He's starting to believe.
Man, I died laughing, but I loved it. I loved it.
See the dust fly off.
The dust fly off.
Right.
Yeah.
That was an excellent scene. I mean, he defeated Smith in that joint. Hit him with the train. Hit him with the tippy toe on the joint.
My name is Neo.
Yep.
Man.
All right.
Then no.
Mr. Anderson. Yes. All right. Let's do one last one. I have more, but let's call it on this one. Horror. The Chief, I'm sure you've got some options.
Okay.
Blake says, hey, John Carpenter's The Thing. Great sci-fi horror.
Okay.
All right, Jay King, what's your horror choice?
Damn, what is my horror choice? Hellraiser.
Oh gosh, man,
Hellraiser.
that is horror.
Yeah, that's horror. Like that's horror right there. That's a rough watch.
Scream says Afton Child. Okay. Solid choice. Chief, how about you?
Horror, man.
You hear the gears turning, like, which one do I go with?
Yeah, it's so many, man, and I watch a lot of horror. Damn. You know which one, man? You know what I'm gonna go with, man? And I'm just going with because I can't name, go down a list of good horror movies, but this is a good horror movie. The Conjuring, I think it was 2 when they were overseas in London. That's
when they first meet the
Valak.
That was
met Valak.
Yeah.
That whole joint where it was pretty good, man. That was a pretty good movie. I'm gonna go with I'm going to Conjuring 2. I think that was 2. But that's so good. Horror so yeah.
Ryan says Halloween and American Werewolf in London, which I thought you might have chosen, and The Shining.
London, you know what? That werewolf transformation, American Werewolf in London, still to this day holds up. It's an amazing transformation. Yeah. And I remember watching American Werewolf in Paris, hoping that they were going to give a great transformation. And that joint just turned to be Cuddy McGee, man. Chocolate Daddy. GI the whole thing. And the movie wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad movie because, but it was just they ruined the transformation on it. But anyways, yes.
All right. Let's see. Afton says Friday the 13th and Evil Dead.
Evil Dead
James
was
says Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
And The Lost Boys, classic.
Lost Boys is good.
That was good.
Jace, what you got?
Cootie Tang.
That was
Or in
horrible.
a different way.
That was horror.
That was horrible. I'm
Shout out
gonna
to my
go.
baby.
I'm gonna go with Saw. Like
First one?
first one I saw. Like I think that very much gets you in the first 5 minutes. You're like, oh, this is this is especially as your entryway into horror and psychological terror. Like I think that opens so many doors that you can go through. It's like, but just I just recently watched the whole thing, and I'm just like, wow, even I didn't know this was a whole thing, but it actually helped. It's a great entry to like 9 other movies or something like that. So I think I would stick with Saw 1.
I love
Shopping
Julie Delpy. That's my problem.
All right, so my choice is Friday the 13th, the 2009 version, where it has the classic feel of the slasher horror, and the kids are kind of smart, they're kind of savvy, but they're still getting wiped out by Jason. Not you, Jason.
What happened in that? Was
That's
that
one Jared Padalecki.
Yeah, that one.
okay.
Yeah, like Jason is like massive and diverse crew. They follow all the rules. Oh, you want to have sex?
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's so true to the old school 80s feel, but it's 2000. And my like 1B, I feel like that's a good one to get people into slasher horror films.
Mhm.
But it's just like, hey, let's just throw out all the ridiculousness in one movie. Freddy versus Jason, because that's just wow, this is crazy. Oh, I want to watch Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, I watch Friday the 13th. So yeah, I did go for that.
I thought that the sending the black dude down into that shack was unrealistic. Because listen,
Really?
It's a horror movie.
because I'm a big guy myself, right? I'm a
They
big
did a
black.
Geico commercial in this.
I'm not going down to the shed. You hear
I'm
me?
not gonna be there.
Well, that's true too. But I'm not going down to the
start with
shed.
that.
The
You
lights
know
are
what?
out in the
That's why I
house.
think I like how it was. It's like you're a bunch of kids. It's like, hey, we need somebody. You're like, you're the only one who's actually kind of sober enough to do it. Can you
I'm
do
not
it?
going. Look at me. Nah.
Why
didn't
Not
we go
need
to
any parts of that environment?
Either we all go, or none of us go.
We're going to a
You gotta
remote
have
cabin
some
for the
footage.
weekend. Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Nobody has a gun. It could be a bear. You don't know what took the power out. And
Be a
he's
raccoon.
just going down there like, I got a guy.
Not at all.
In the middle of the woods.
Nope.
It's never happened. It's never happened. You know what I mean? It's never happened. I'm not going.
I haven't seen that, but
I didn't
maybe that's
finish
another one to
it.
add to my list. Huh?
I didn't finish it. I think that's.
Oh, that's not good.
I could have been just tired, of course.
I have not heard that one. I didn't know the belt plans on that one. To have Jason, Freddy, and Ash. I feel like Ash would have won just because he's Ash. All right.
The first Evil Dead was good.
I noticed you're sticking that period really hard after the first one.
Well, because the second one was weird when he got transferred to like the past
Okay.
where the Knights was, and
Oh.
then the new one came out, right? But the first one was always to me the best one.
Okay.
You know, the new one was like they're not scary. Like movies aren't scary no more. They're just gory to a degree, right? And I figure like a scary movie, like I told you, It Follows kind of gets you, right? But also, like any demonic movie usually has its, for the most part, Exorcist, things of that nature.
Exorcist.
Well, because some of them aren't that good, like Annabelle, falls short,
It really did.
and you know, and I think that you know it probably had, and the Valak, the Nun. I don't watch none of the Nuns. I don't think they're that great.
You
It's
didn't
a-
watch it?
Okay.
Huh?
It's just jump scare garbage, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're either really gory or they're cheap.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it's that magical time of the week. Time for your nominees for Dummies of the Week. Jace, shaking it up. Why don't you go first?
Oh, thank you. I do appreciate this, but I'm gonna try and play nice on this one. But okay. I don't I don't like making light of people's end of their relationship. But when you ask for a judge for $120,000 a month in spousal support or child support,
I've grown accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
I wish I had grown accustomed to that too. So when you ask a judge seriously, hey, I'm gonna need you to upgrade that $64,000 to 121, then say, you know what, my lifestyle just isn't close enough to the beach. I would like to have that house next door that also has that giant pool right next to the ocean. Yeah, you're gonna kind of come off as my dummy of the week.
And who is this dummy of the week?
Kevin Costner's ex-wife. Because
not ex, his current wife. Trying to be ex, right?
No, they're proceeding. It's moving around. So I guess you're kind of right, Chief.
Hey, bro, but let me ask you this. First of all, what's the point of the prenup? Because it did nothing, right? So, and then why do these jokers still get married in California? Like, yo, like the women be like, yo, let's go out to Cali to get married. And no dude ever says, nah.
It's not so much where you get divorced and live. They can't help that part.
Bro, you get this, you Kevin Costner, you can live anywhere.
Oh, I mean, honestly,
Kevin Costner. Listen, if I
made
rich,
my primary resident Montana, then I happen to go back to California when I need to. But my primary resident to make sure and I don't know anything about divorce law in Montana, but I'm like, it would not be in California. I can tell you that.
And my primary resident live in Colombia. And let me tell you, you're not getting a dime. Go for a walk in the jungle.
Not a dime, a dime.
Let's go for a walk in the jungle. Let's talk about it.
We do not advocate these strategies, people.
Throw it to a hippo. I'm just saying it ain't gonna be that doesn't make sense, bro. It just doesn't make sense. $180,000 a month to live.
I mean, it's like when he's like, you can't honestly say it's like when it was spelled out like I need it for this. It's like, come on, like I'm trying to work with you here.
There's a prenup in place.
Help me to help you.
I mean, and you could always probably said, hey, we can make a reasonable settlement for child support, and that's where the loophole is. Like, gotcha, haha. See, this is gonna be my child support. It's like, no, that's not child support. That's youth support. It's like, yeah, you're not getting that one. So that's why she's my dummy of the week.
Solid choice. Chief, who's yours?
You know, when I think of Kanye, and then right after I think of this dude, Antonio Brown.
So what has Mr. Brown done today?
Well, he's lost a team now. He was the owner of a team. Now he's no longer the owner of a team, man. And now he's claiming he's got CTE, right? That's his, whenever he's getting in trouble for it, he's got CTE. But you can only know if you got CTE if you're dead and they study your brain. So that's the only possible way to know. Every time this dude is in the news, man, and he's got to be burning through cash like he's just throwing it in a fire at night, right? And I just look at the dude, man, and I think of what he could have been, and I keep seeing him jog off the field with the peace sign in the air. People kept giving him a chance because he was talented, and now, man, this dude is off his rocker, man, and these failed business joints, he can't keep, he can't, listen, so he's lost the team now, and, he's claiming he's got CTE this week. So it'll be something next week, of course. Mr. Brown he's headed for jail. He will be there. And it is what it is, man. But he's my dummy of the week, man, for various reasons. But he just can't stay out the news. Can't do right. Can't get right.
Absolutely. All right, so let's see here. So many options, so many choices. But J.K., let's hear from you first.
Dummy Emeritus, Kanye West, and his $2 Kardashian he got. So if you don't know, Kanye showed his whole black ass to Italy on the he was on the Venice canals, right? Getting a humdinger from his carbon copy wife, right?
Like nobody would see him on a boat. Like it's not like there's a whole bunch of people. Like you have paparazzi everywhere looking where you are. And
It's
you just
European
like,
paparazzi.
I need it. Like,
and it's so nonchalant about it, man, with his whole black ass.
I thought he had a coat on underwood, a gray coat, and I just realized it was ash. I said, dude, I thought he had a gray coat on. I said, this dude is ashy.
He's just ashy. That's all it was.
Ashy leg.
And why is he dressed like a I can't even describe him. He's like a movie bad guy. He's dressed like, you know, the movies from like the 70s, 80s, how they thought people would dress in the 2000s. He's dressed like if he were bad. He's like dressed like General Zod.
Bro, I'm gonna go out and get me a shirt with the shoulder pads.
Why not? Why not? And the Grace Jones cup in the front with your black tights. Man, I was like, what in the hell has happened to
All right, I didn't want to spoil
West?
it for you, but he's being cast as Lex Luthor in James Gunn's Superman Legacy.
Oh, there it is.
Stop it. There it is. There it is. Get in the character, I guess.
All right, my choice is every rumor coming out for Marvel Studio films that don't need to get put out. Right now, there's all kind of talk about, hey, we're gonna see this with Daredevil. Nobody knows, nobody cares because the strike is still going. And I love the fact that we're approaching on very close to Oscar season, and the studios are gonna need to bow the knee because no one's going to see their Oscar bait films without the celebrities going, it was so great to really work with him. It just spoke to me so much. They're not promoting these films. The studios really need their December, November Oscar push so they can go, look at how great we are in our movies. Nobody's going to do it if they can't promote these films. So if you want to place your bets on when the strike is going to end, it is going to be around November and December. There you go. After
I was going to say, do you think that Barbie gets a Best Picture?
It should, just because, but they're going to. Again, Greta Gerwig is going to get a Best Director nom too. Great news, the Ghost now over 20,000. Yeah, no problem getting Zeb at that point. We're all good. So the whole crew's done. And speaking of the whole crew being done, that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for hanging out with us, giving us all your suggestions and all your nominations and recommendations for the best genre films. Afton Child, James Green, Blake Tarpley, Ryan Daly. Let's see who else. Monica Lyles, cannot forget her. I'm gonna have a very long night. Yeah, it's not gonna work. 80s kid from the 90s. I think I got everybody hanging with us here. So James Green, Afton Child. All right, very good. Chief, Jay King, aka Mel Sharples, and Jace. Thank you as always for rolling with me. Appreciate y'all. And we'll wrap this bad boy up. We'll see you again. And tomorrow, I'll be back with the 200th episode of Lyles Figure Files. Good news for us, fellas. We're almost at 300 episodes of Lyles Movie Files. So 2 more. We need to figure out a big anniversary ball. Maybe pop some, some waters and all that great stuff. Do the thing. Yes, tomorrow for sure. We're breaking that down. Can't wait to talk about that. For now, this episode of Lyles Movie Files has been filed.